077 Heavy, maintain visual separation from traffic. Descend and maintain 2,100 until established under localizer. Clear ILS runway 25 left approach. .com 9914, SoCal approach and travel to 757, caution for wake turbulence. Maintain 25, turn off for now. 250 for now on 9914. The 180, 475. 18, turn off for greater and told Jesse, keep your speed up as best you can for traffic to follow you. Tower is 133.9. Thanks for your help. Have a good one.
Alright, 318, you're better to Jesse Tower, 33 traffic southwest 33.
Alpha 077 Heavy, maintain 18, turn off for greater until Lima. Contact Los Angeles Tower once established, 120.95. Good day.
18, until Lima, and Tower, station 120.95.
Front 077 Heavy, maintain visual separation from traffic. Descend and maintain 2,100 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 25 left approach.
So listening 2100 KLS, 25 left approach, and listening
.com 9914, SoCal approach and travel to 757, caution for wake turbulence. Maintain 25, turn off for now.
250 for now on 9914.
The 1 Angel, 475.
1 turn off or greater until jet to keep your speed up as best you can for traffic to follow you. Towers 133.9. Thanks for your help. Have a good one.
Roger, 1 you're better than jet to tower, 33 traffic,
Front 077 Heavy, maintain 1 turn off or greater until Lima. And the Los Angeles Tower once established, 120.95. Good day.
1 until Lima, and tower, 1 established on 120.95.
Baku, capital city of Azerbaijan. The stream begins shortly. Welcome aboard. ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard to the Saturday live stream. That's right, we are off to Azerbaijan, which I think is probably one of the furthest east I think that we've gone so far in terms of a very high quality payware airport. So really looking forward to this. Let's go ahead and unpause the simulation here and get started. Give me just a moment. Yes, indeed, it is Azerbaijan. I want to do a quick sound test here to make sure that everyone can hear everything okay. If the helicopter's too loud or my voice is too loud or too low, definitely let me know. I just need to do one more check on the audio here to make sure everything is working fine, because OBS and Twitch has been like acting really kind of weird lately. So just want to make sure there are no issues. So definitely give me a heads up and let me know if there are any issues with audio. So yes, it is Drzewiecki's Baku, which I think of all of the scenery releases ever released by Drzewiecki Design, I think this is one of those that people were really, I think was the most anticipated. And certainly that is the case for me. My favorite airport project or scenery project from Drzewiecki Design is, what's the name of that airport? Don't draw a blank now. It's still early for me. I know it's like 2:40 in the afternoon, but I was up until like 5 a.m. this morning trying to wait until the release, and it didn't quite happen. So I wound up having to go to bed, and then woke up really late because I'm home alone, and you know, as that goes, if no one wakes me up, I just, you know, stay my lazy ass in bed all day. I'm trying to remember that airport though in Poland. That's my favorite. Doggone it. I am so drawing a blank on that airport. But anyway, yeah, it's one of the shoot, what is the name of that doggone airport? I hate when I draw a blank on stuff. My brain hasn't fully woken up yet. We're getting ready to cross the threshold into the coverage area here. This massive photoreal scenery coverage area. And the photoreal coverage area, ooh, trim. Ooh, that was some serious down trim I had there. As soon as I came off the power, the nose just dropped. I'm gonna crash! Damn. Is my freaking, I don't think I think I forgot to set, whatchamacallit. Damn it, let's hit. Go ahead, hit the water. Thank you. I could have sworn I set my FSU IPC, but maybe I didn't, because it is not trimming. That's crazy. Alright, well, alright. There's the crash. In every live stream, there's always a crash, so we got it out of the way. So, perfect. No, it's not Warsaw. It's a airport scenery that was released a long time ago. In fact, it's the first review that I've ever did of a Drzewiecki airport scenery project. Let me see. Now it's trimmed up, so I want to trim it down. Can I trim it down? Nope, it still wants to keep climbing. Alright, it looks like today is going to be one of those days, huh? You know what, let me just check FSU IPC real quick here. I don't know if this shit is working or not. Come on, trim down. There it goes. Alright, maybe it wasn't on. I guess that's what happened. Alright, there we go. That's a little better. I know that a lot of people can really be... Krakow, thank you, AV Hawk. Yes, Krakow. Krakow is my favorite of all the Drzewiecki airports, and it's not to suggest that they haven't made anything better than that. I don't know. For some reason, I just have a soft spot for that airport. I really love just kind of the design and architecture of that airport, and I know that in real life, they're in the process of doing like all these renovations and adding, you know, new terminal and all that. To kind of bring it up to par with all the rest of these new airports that have been going up around Poland. But there's just something about Krakow that just kind of has this little special place in my heart, I guess. And so for that reason, it's still my favorite, even though it's one of their oldest works. It is definitely still my favorite, and I'm sure that once the real life construction completes, they will probably update it, Drzewiecki. But it's still my favorite. There's just something about that airport that I really love, and I'm kind of disappointed there was a developer who was developing like the nearby historical city center of Krakow, and he's been working on this project for years. And if you pull, I think if you just type in Krakow on Airedale X, you'll pull up some of the older articles. And he was showing that off over on FS Developer, and then there's a few times when he's gone quiet, and I don't think we've heard from him for about 1.5 years now, so I don't know if he's ever going to finish that project. I know there's one for FS9, but I think he was like modifying it for FSX and Prepared, and I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to finish that, and that sucks, because that, you know, maybe Drzewiecki will include the city center now when maybe when they release the update. I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right, so we are coming up now on the capital city here, and Azerbaijan is a very beautiful, architecturally, what's the word that I want to use here? Aesthetic city. It really is, and I think a lot of maybe Western tourists, when they think Europe, I think they, well, I don't know if you consider Azerbaijan Europe, though. I guess that'd still be considered like Middle East Asia, but you know, the average Western tourist will probably think, oh, if I'm going to go to that part of the world, I'll go to Paris or I'll go to London or Rome, which, don't get me wrong, I've been to all those places and I love them to death. But, you know, the average person is probably thinking Azerbaijan. That sounds very Middle Eastern-like. That sounds scary. I don't think I want to go there. You know, this is probably one of those cities you would not want to add to the list of I do not want to go there. I think that the government here has really worked very hard to really make Baku a very sort of cosmopolitan, tourist-friendly place, kind of like what Istanbul has been trying to become as of late, you know, a tourist-friendly destination. This is definitely a place on my list that I would definitely love to visit because it is incredible. And as a huge fan of architecture, I follow this website called Skyscraper City, and I'm always, you know, on the lookout for the latest, you know, kind of just otherworldly type architecture, and certainly Baku is filled with that. And so I'm very glad to see that he did extend beyond the airport perimeter boundary into the capital city and included a lot of this fantastic and amazing architecture. Most notably, of course, is that of Zaha Hadid, which is one of my favorite architects who passed last month. And I'm really looking forward to heading my trip to New York City after FlightSimCon, because her first post-communist architecture building there over on the High Line should be complete by the time I get there next month. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. But nevertheless, just kind of taking a look. Now, unfortunately, I can't tell you too much about the names of a lot of these landmarks. A lot of you guys might know a lot of this stuff, obviously, a lot better than me. But we're just going to fly around some of these little landmarks here and take a look at the representation of a lot of this. I feel like this flag is following me. It is following me, isn't it? I'm like, is this flag following me, or can I actually pass it? Oh, maybe it's not following me. Okay, there it goes. For a minute there, it looked like it was turning. For a lot of you who watch the Prague scenery, I'm going to have to do an update to that live stream pretty soon. When I first powered up the Baku scenery, the helicopters at the airport, and I was getting some crazy stutters. And if you watched the Prague scenery, I was getting some crazy stutters throughout the whole scenery. So while I'm sitting on the ground here, and I haven't retested Prague yet, but I was trying to figure out why I was getting these stutters at Baku. So I started fooling around with all my adjustments, fooling around with the AI traffic, fooling around with the cloud shadows. I actually turned the cloud shadows off. I guess I could turn them back on. And of all the things that I played with, the only thing that seemed to be the culprit of those stutters was the fact that at some point, for some reason, I locked my frames to 60. And when I moved them from 60 back to unlimited, the stutters disappeared. So I'm beginning to wonder if the reason was because I had my frames locked at 60, and I never lock my frames. I think the only reason why I locked them is because I was, I think I was doing I was flying online, and if you want to fly in close formation and not get stutters with the aircraft you're flying with, you match your frame rates. And so I think I had matched my frame rates to someone else, and then I never set it back. So for those who might be looking for an update to the Praha stream, just sort of stick in there, and I'll definitely try to do an update on that. But once I changed those frame rates, and everything just sort of ran smoothly. Now, I know these days a lot of you are very, very picky when it comes to photoreal, and depending on where in the world you are, or rather I should say, depending on where in the world you're developing, can have a severe impact in terms of the quality of photoreal that's available. And that's something that I've definitely learned over the years when it comes to different projects, depending on where, like for example, anywhere in Asia, it's going to be difficult to find quality freeware, and if you do find quality freeware, then it's like super expensive, and so the developer is sort of forced to purchase a less expensive quality of photoreal, and so as a result, that obviously has an adverse effect in the final outcome in the flight simulator. So for those of you who are very picky on photoreal or may not like the photoreal that's available, just as a note, there is a selection within the installer that will allow you to remove the photoreal, but keep all of the autogen. I believe you get to keep the autogen and the landmarks intact. So in this case, I have opted obviously to keep the photoreal. So if you don't like it for any reason, you can certainly elect to not have it. I think I'll probably keep the photoreal because when you're at 130 knots coming in on that final approach over the sea here, I think it gives you more of a realistic look as opposed to maybe not having it. So obviously for VFR, the photoreal can be probably a little bit hard on the eyes with the coloration. So that's something you might want to consider. Going at a faster speed, it may not be as noticeable. The only thing that I really want to point out, though, with the photoreal is that it's just a little too... I'm not with the photoreal, but with the hand-placed autogen, it's just a little sparse. So if you're going to elect to do a large photoreal coverage area, you're really going to have to cover the entire photoreal coverage area with buildings and trees. And here you can see here on the photoreal image, there's just some randomly placed buildings here, and then you have these like large sort of exclusions in between the buildings. So that sort of perhaps maybe takes a little bit away of the realism on the photoreal. Like if you're going to place photoreal, you can cover it up as much as you can by really covering it up with buildings and trees. And the more buildings and trees you place on top of it, the better it would probably look. Because the photoreal is somewhat low resolution, when you get close to it, it's kind of hard to see where the buildings are. So that could also be kind of difficult as well. But I think the only thing I'd point out about this is it would have been nice to just have it much more dense with the autogen. So it could be that maybe with my autogen settings, I probably could get it a little bit more dense. I already have it set to very dense. And I think beyond that, the next step is extreme. And I don't want to go extreme because once we start getting into that area, then we start, having potential performance issues. Speaking of which, let's just take a quick look at my frames here. Frames locked at unlimited, and the frames I'm seeing right now, I'm getting 70 frames per second. Let's see. Oh, no, that's my speed. Excuse me. I got to hit that Control Z one more time. There we go. Frames between 50 and 75. So, not bad. Yeah, 60 and 75. So, I think probably what was happening with Prague is I think my system was hitting that 60 threshold, and it was wanting to move beyond that, and I wasn't getting that fluid movement, and I was getting those stutters. So anyway, we'll see. Just taking a look here at these custom objects, or these custom buildings that were made here, looking very lovely. And Azerbaijan really kind of looks, or not Azerbaijan, I should say, Baku, really looking like a city from Star Trek, doesn't it? This is like Daystrom here. But, yeah, very, very futuristic looking city. And if you're not very geographically inclined, you'd never know that, all of this is here. And so definitely Baku is on my list of places to visit. I want to arm myself with my DSLR and really snap the hell out of these buildings. I mean, they are very, very beautiful. And again, as a fan of architecture, I would be in heaven looking at some of these buildings up close. Been to Dubai many times, and the odd thing about that is at night half those buildings are blacked out because they're empty. Whereas I'm sure Baku here is definitely vibrant at night with the buildings. Very lovely. I just wish there was more autogen here. There's a lot of blank spots here and hardly any trees at all. Some astounding architecture here. Alright, let's go ahead and swing back around. And so again, I don't know the name of a lot of these buildings, and some of you could probably look them up, but nevertheless, very architecturally aesthetic, and I, for one, am definitely pleased to see all of this added with the airport scenery, because I mean, Baku is pretty far out. It's pretty far east, so if you're used to just doing your typical Western European sorties and decide you want to head on out to Baku, you're in for a much longer sortie for sure. So it's nice to have something a little bit extra to see once you make your way out here. Very interesting buildings out here. Again, just a lot of missing autogen here. You see these really just kind of blank spots here. And it kind of brings me back to, like a lot, for example, a lot of my streams that I've done with Orbix developers, like with Jared or Misha. And one of the things that, like, for example, Misha right now is working on his current project, which will be unveiled in 3 weeks at FlightSimCon. And I've been dying to talk about it. But nevertheless, he is at the stage of that project now where he is annotating all the autogen over the coverage area. And I remember in my last interview with him, that was what's the Snoopy airport now? The Charles Schultz scenery. And I forgot how many pieces of autogen he said he had to place, but I think with Lake Tahoe, it was like 300,000 pieces of autogen or something like that. And so, I mean, the actual development of the airport might take like 3 weeks, and then it's an additional 2 months to place all the autogen. But one thing that you never see are these large sort of gaps in the coverage area. It's like everything looks like an actual city because everything's been covered. So that's the only gripe so far that I see with this, is that it's just these large sort of open areas without autogen, and it would look far better if it was more sparsely populated, or I should say densely populated, excuse me. And there's Zaha's masterpiece here. This lovely white building here. Very nice. Unfortunately, the name is escaping me at the moment. I believe it's a concert hall or something, right? Or is it like a cultural center? I forget. But as you can see, she had some very outlandish architectural. She had a very sort of otherworldly architectural brain. In the building that she, her first post-communist building, which is going above the High Line right now. Again, something that looks very, very futuristic, like something out of, Star Trek that you would see like on planet Romulus or something. I mean, her architecture is very, very indigenous to her imagination, and very interesting. So nice to see that here. Colors look a little bit washed out, probably because of the location of the sun at the moment. But again, nice to see Drzewiecki sculpting this lovely masterpiece and including it, so Zaha gets a nice bit of memory in the world of Flight Simulator. Very lovely. And there's another tower over here, which looks like a well, I don't know what that looks like, but very interesting nonetheless. It looks like all of the building. I don't know who decides, what architecture will be used here, but certainly they have elected for some very unusual architecture here. This just looks like a giant paperweight, doesn't it? Like something you'd put on your desk or on a bookshelf. Ross is asking, would FTX even populate in this scenery? Well, obviously not on top of the the photoreal, but it's a very good question. I guess we could try, after looking at the airport, maybe we could try, I'd have to kill the simulator, rerun the installer, restart the simulator, and then see what it looks like without the photoreal, and see how FTX Global would populate this. I think we're too far outside of OpenLC Europe for that to populate this area, if I'm correct. So this would definitely fall under FTX Global. So if you guys don't mind the wait and the amount of time it takes to do that after we're done looking at the airport, then we can certainly do that and take a look and see. So I think we've covered most of the architecture here in the city. Again, a lot of very nice custom buildings, both high-rise and low-rise buildings, have been added. Which certainly gives you a lot more than you otherwise would have probably had just by looking at FTX Global, without a doubt. The only thing I can think of, though, is you can see where the roads are and where the buildings line the roads. I don't know if FTX Global would accurately place those roads. So what you might wind up getting is just like a bunch of buildings that look sort of random. But like I said, after we're done looking at the airport, I'll take a minute. It just takes time every time I've got to launch and P3D from scratch because I have so many add-ons. It takes a minute, but we can certainly try that. We've got the airport now at our 12 o'clock, and as we begin to make our way over to the airport, I'll take a look through the comments here. And as Amos pointed out, it is a desert, so very interested to see how that might populate without the photoreal. There's a stadium there. Maybe Baku one day might host Olympics. This looks like a nice place. Is my door open? Holy crap. Have I been flying the whole time with my door open? Let me see here. Oops. What's going on? Or did I just click that? Alright, let's trim down. Is my trim not working with this helicopter? What is going on? Yes, I did crash already, so I'm glad that we started the stream and just got that over with. As soon as I took the power off to get down to a lower elevation, the nose just went straight down because I was trying to trim it because for some reason the nose was up, and I guess I over-trimmed or what, I don't know. But once that nose went down, there was no recovering. Chris is asking, can I go up to 3,000 feet and see what it looks like? Sure, let's do that now. Let's see, current elevation is what, 1,300? So let's go ahead and climb a bit. I'll turn back toward the city just so we can get a look at that. I'm not sure how low the cloud layer is here, but we do have some broken clouds, so. Alright, this is 3,000 feet. Let's continue climb a little bit. 3,800, that's 4,000. Passing 5. So from this distance, I like how my windows fog up when I get up here. I need to yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. When you, oh, shoot, that's a laptop, not mine. Okay, so when you get to this altitude, you can really see those big gaps in the photoreal. It's much more prominent here. You can see here you've got these just kind of big areas where you can't see any of the autogen. So that was one of the things I noticed with Warsaw as well. That's the only thing I guess I would like to see improved with Drzewiecki's sort of cityscape sceneries is more autogen. If you take a look at like the Orbic cityscape, like for example Adelaide, I think it is, that to me is kind of a perfect example Trying to drop my altitude here. It's kind of a perfect example of how a skidyscape should look. Okay, here we go again. My helicopter is not being nice to me today. Jeez. There we go. We're going to have a second crash. There's nothing I can do. It's just gone. It's just gone. Let's bounce back up. Thank you very much. Yeah. I don't know. This helicopter is... I usually use this for streams, and this is the first time I've ever crashed it. Is in today's stream. Oh no, I did crash it before. I crashed it over on Mount Kilimanjaro when I was taking a look at that whatever that airport was out there by Gaia Simulations. I had this thing way over altitude trying to get over Kilimanjaro. I thought I could, and that was like a hell no moment. I don't know. And you know what, too? The helicopter is feeling really fluid. Like, it usually isn't this difficult to control. I don't know why I'm having trouble today. Anyway. Alright, there was number 2. Chris asks, how many lives do you California people get? Well, between the riots and all the earthquakes and the shootings. Anyway. Alright, so let's go ahead and finally make our way over to the airport. Look again, you see there's a lot of buildings that should be there, but there's just very few actually placed. So, for that reason, I might actually elect to not use the photo scenery only because it's just too sparse. I would want this whole area just blanketed in autogen. Because as you can see on the photo reel, there are a lot more roofs and houses you can see on the photo reel than the 3D autogen actually provides. And we're coming up on the airport there. Let's go ahead and switch to our first-person perspective. I need to align my Dell logo with the strut here. Here we go. No, Chris, I do not live in Orange County. Do live near the beach, though, but not Orange County. And, sorry, I can't pronounce your name, Sterling something. He says you can't get rid of the photo scenery in the city. Option only removes photo scenery outside city. Oh, I see. There you go. So I guess I won't bother with that after all then. If let's see, the photo reel here is looking a little washed out. This is a little too bright. But you know what, though? Let me pause the simulator really quickly. Because the way that Prepared handles colors and stuff is a lot different from FSX. And the time of day can really also change colors too. Let me just try something real quick here. So you see that? How that color kind of changes? So that definitely has a big deal too. Depending on where the sun is, can definitely have a change on color. You see how the color changes? Like the brightness of it. You see that? It's kind of whitish. And then as the sun moves along, then it gets like a lot more kind of a brown color now. So this is a lot better. This is probably how it should look. But you're only going to get it looking like this at certain times of the day. So unless you want to time your arrival with wherever the sun is going to be in the sky, yeah. So there's probably, if it only removes, so I guess a photo reel, because it stretches to both coasts. So if it doesn't really change out in the city area, then there's probably no point in even removing it at all. And Ross is asking if I'm using the shader add-on. I am using the shader add-on. So Ross says that maybe the shader add-on could be causing some of that washout. I don't think so, though. But could be right, perhaps. But again, if you change the time of day, that certainly has an impact as well. So maybe it is that shader add-on that I'm using. Could be. But I don't think there's anyone using Prepared today that's probably not using that add-on or won't be in the near future because of just how well it enhances Prepared. So let's just go ahead for the sake of argument then, and we'll just leave the time of day at where it is now. That way we get a little bit more definition to the photoreal. This certainly looks a lot better from this time of day anyway. And here we are, the actual airport. This is the part that we've all been waiting for. I need to be careful that I don't drop power too quickly again, and then we all wind up in the ground nose first. I'm not sure if cars run up and down these roads, but I do have my traffic off. I don't really use car traffic. I do sometimes when I'm flying small VFR flights, but for the most part, I don't really use a lot of car traffic. And here we have the little maintenance area here. Lots of cars in the parking lot. And this should be the Silk Air hangar, if I'm not mistaken. And the hangar's been completely internally done. I love, just a note for developers. Hangars with closed doors with no internal modeling are boring. Personally, I like to see a hangar that has open doors and static aircraft inside. It definitely adds a lot more character to an airport, in my opinion. Silkway. What did I say? Silk Air? What's going on here? Oh, okay. I was going to say, what the hell? All right. This is my AI that has crashed into one of the static aircraft in the hangar. I was trying to figure out what was going on there. All right, that's my AI that's backed into him, so I'm sure they're all running to fix that. And one thing I will say about Drzewiecki design, their hangars are always really well done. I love Drzewiecki's hangars. They always go out of their way to do nice-looking hangars. These are what are these planes called? They're Illusions, right? Are they Illusions? I don't know if they're Russian or if they're Ukrainian. I keep forgetting the name of those planes. And one thing that Drzewiecki is also well known for are their statics. Now, I don't know if this is one of my... Oh, yeah, no, that's a static, yeah. That's a very good-looking static model. For a minute there, I was like, wait, is this an AI model? That looks really good. That's very well modeled. IO76 Illusion. Thank you very much. The Sweet Flyer says, now I can finally fly silky smooth with Silkway Airlines into Baku. Online at silkwayairlines.com. Yes, you can. Oh, someone else says it's an IL-18. I think there's a good freeware version of that lingering around somewhere, probably on one of the AvSimRU websites. I had one in FS9 that I enjoyed a bit, but I don't think it had a virtual cockpit. I think it was like a 2D panel. That's one thing I wish we had, is I wish we had a developer that would do like really high quality, like PMDG type add-ons for like Russian and Ukrainian airliners. I mean, a lot of these planes I would never fly on in real life. No. But I would love to enjoy in the flight simulator. There are a lot of them I would love to have. But they would have to, like, do them out in English, though. You couldn't put, like, all just, like, sort of Cyrillic characters and stuff. That would not work out. But it would be nice, though, if we did. I mean, so far as all, like, those sort of aircraft go, They've all been sort of done in freeware, and usually really good quality freeware, but it would be nice to like get like some really quality. I know someone did what's that Russian airliner that looks like a 727? I forget, the Trijet. Someone I think did a payware version of that like years ago, and that was quite good. I think that was only for FS9 though, right? But yeah, I think that's like, you know, that's probably as close as we'll ever get. Taking a look at this GA FBO building here. Very nice. Of course, it gives away quite abruptly to the photoreel. You can actually see the visible seam there. This is one of the things that I did point out over in Shemirativo, and I know I'm not pronouncing that right, but no parking lot here. It just sort of just quickly and abruptly gives way. That's one of the things that I keep pointing out in Drzewiecki sceneries, is I wish it wouldn't be so abrupt. But the runway and apron textures look nice. Let's head over here to the cargo area. The Baku cargo terminal. And is this another static model, or is this AI? I can't tell. I think it's a static model. Looks very good. There is also an option, if you don't want these statics in, you can get rid of them, but I don't know who would get rid of these statics. I mean, these all look very nice. Unless you have a lot of AI that might want to take over these gates and have nowhere to go. But otherwise, this looks lovely. And again, we've given way to the apron to a photoreel again. I don't know why the tarmac didn't just run all the way up to the building. Why did it have to stop with the road and then everything else sits on the photoreel? So that's one of the things that I point out. I don't like the look of that. Like, I wish it would just go all the way up to the building. But nevertheless, we've got some guys here. The nose. I used to operate one of these type of aircraft for Cargolux. This would have been back in 2000. I want to say 2002. Yeah, back in 2002. And these were a lot of fun to operate. I was the nose operator. So there was always me in the front, and we had two guys in the back who operated the rear of the aircraft. And these were a lot of fun. This was one of the funner jobs that I had back in my younger days as a ramp agent. And there's a digital scale. Well, this looks like a 200, so I don't know how the 200s had, but we had brand new 400 freighters. And there's a little digital readout scale, so there's a scale in the front and there's a scale in the back. And then you have the loaders, and there's a guy on the loader. And what we saw mostly were cars coming in from Europe, coming in from Germany, from Sweden, and what all the European, well, actually what all automakers do, really. We've even had cars coming up from Australia, from, what is it, Holden, I think it is. And what they do is they bring their cars up to California, to Los Angeles, and then they send them all out to Death Valley, out to the high desert there, the salt flats. And they basically run them really hard because those are some of the hottest conditions that cars will ever face. And they run them really, really hard for like weeks, for 3 weeks straight. They'll run them really hard. And then, you know, they'll come in all brand new. And these are cars that are not obviously available to the public yet. So they all come in brand new. And this is how we would see all the new cars before they were released, like 6 months, 7 months to a year before they were released. These would be like the concepts. Even the first Spiker, for those of you from Holland, you know the name Spiker. The very, very first Spiker concept, fully working concept, that came to LA, and I operated that flight. And I had never seen anything like that before. And so what they do is they bring them out to Death Valley, and they just run them like hell for like 3 weeks straight. And then they come back all dirty and filthy and caked up. And then they go back to the original, what do you call that? The original, I guess, maintenance center or wherever they're made. And they pull them apart piece by piece. They rip them apart. And then they see how each of the parts of the car held up under those extreme conditions. So that's what I loved about that job, seeing all the new cars coming in. Everything from Ferraris, Porsches, Lamborghinis, to your typical Ford Explorers. I mean, everything came through on those Cargolux flights. But the fun thing about the fun and scary thing about operating this is a nice helicopter, about operating those aircraft is you'd have this little digital readout, and it's a scale. So you have we're all on radios. So you figure you've got me in the front, you've got 2 guys in the back, and then you have the lower hold. And we're all in constant open radio communication. So the plane comes in heavy, and we've got to get all of this freight off this thing. And so what happens is you have some of the weight needs to come off the back first to put enough weight on the nose, and then we start slowly bringing weight off the nose. And so we're all very always sweating watching this scale because obviously if you pull all the weight off the back, then the tail will hit the ground, and they did not like using tail stands. A lot of carriers like EVA Air, they'll use a tail stand to keep the tail from hitting the ground. We didn't do that. We were in the business of just simply not fucking up. You don't get training wheels, and that's just sort of how we operate it. So as a result, we screw up, we're going down. That was it. There was no training wheels for us. Either do it right the first time or go home and never come back. So you would always feel the aircraft bobbing and weaving and shaking. And once you move, one time we had these 35,000-pound generators. And each generator was 35,000 pounds, and I think we had like 5 or 6 of them on this plane. And once you bring them out through the nose, you would put maybe a foot of it onto the loader. And then you don't pull the whole thing onto the loader because the aircraft will snap backwards. So you'd put like a foot of it on the loader, then the loader would raise up a little bit. And then he'd pull it a little bit more and then raise up a little bit. And every time he's raising the loader, he's raising this 35,000-pound generator off of the aircraft. And you feel the aircraft just bouncing up and down as it raises, as the hydraulics from the landing gear start to raise. And we're all just kind of bouncing with the plane, and nobody's breathing. And that was a lot of fun. That's a great job for, a 22-year-old, or how old was I then? 21, 22, something. But yeah, that's a fun job for a kid, learning a lot and weight and balance and doing that sort of thing. So that was cool. I'd probably do that again if I could. And the great thing about it is everything on those planes are automated. This is a nice little building here. Everything on those planes are automated. So you don't have to push anything. You have a little joystick and a bunch of controls with little wheels that come out of the floor of the aircraft, and all of these pallets will move by themselves. They dance around the inside of the aircraft, and all you have to do is just touch your little joystick and move everything around with the joystick. So you never had to actually push any cargo. This is a very fancy looking control tower here. I wonder why they put it all the way at the edge of the airport. It's very interesting. And there's the airport entrance. The texture quality from Drzewiecki Design is never something to complain about. Always very well done. And there's a lovely control tower. That's a very nicely modeled control tower. No people in there, though. But some nice chairs. Look at the chairs. Hang on a second. Look how well. Let me go to slew mode real quick. Look at those ergonomic chairs that he put in there. Look at that. Like, that's like the best chair modeling I think I've ever seen in Flight Simulator. Look at these ergonomic chairs. Let me see if I can just swing that around a little bit. These, ladies and gentlemen, are the best modeled chairs you'll ever see in Flight Simulator. Another developer will probably come up now and try to make a better chair just to, as a measuring contest. But yeah, nicely modeled there. Come on to slew mode. I had to look at those chairs for a minute there. That's a nice, clean control tower. No people, though. I know a lot of you are really interested about this FSDT Memphis and that whole control tower thing. One thing I will say for sure is that has gotten a lot of people talking. I like the reflective textures on that little canopy entrance there. Very nice. And all the surrounding buildings, of course, done very nicely. Some nice reflections there. And Ross is asking, does a static drop FPS? I wouldn't think so. I really wouldn't think so. If you don't use AI, then obviously they'll use a lot less performance than AI would. And at least you can fly into an airport that has something to show, so you don't feel like you're flying into a ghost town. And Ross says he's wondering how many 747s I tipped over. Look, I might fly like a dummy in Flight Simulator, but never in real life. But no, we've never had any issues with Cargolux back during my days there. You can actually pull up any incidences that have happened at LAX, and from what I remember, there was one incident with FedEx back in the late 80s. I remember watching that on the news. The most recent one, I think, was a World Airways Cargo DC-10, and that was still like at least 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. So, but nope, we never had any issues. We were very serious in our work. We were very serious in our work. That was a fun job. Had a lot of fun working there. And now you get these new 747-800s, and it's like one of those things could be landing behind you and you'd never even know it because they are so quiet. I don't know if any of you have seen any of those new 800s up close. Lufthansa used to fly the 800 passenger model, but I think they've stopped. But we have a lot of the cargo freighters, Cargolugs. What's the Japanese one? AN. It's like ANA something, I don't remember. Cathay Pacific. So, I mean, they're all flying the 800s. And, I mean, when those things take off and land, you can barely hear them. They are so quiet. It is insane how quiet they are. Technology has certainly come a very long way. I remember we used to have Aero California, which is the now defunct Mexican airline. And I was trying to book a ticket just to fly on a DC-9 because I'd never flown on a DC-9, and unfortunately they wound up folding up. I guess it was something to do about maintenance issues or something. Their fleet was grounded, and then they wound up folding. Some of the sexiest flight attendants I've ever seen. You could definitely tell there was a lot of discrimination going on over at Aero California because every freaking flight attendant was like a Mexican supermodel. Oh, man, good thing the wife isn't home hearing me talk about this. But anyway, those DC-9s were freaking just like loud. Oh my God, those things were loud. But those DC-9s were no joke. But no, I never did get to fly on one of them. But that little DC-9, because the rule of thumb is the smaller the engine, I guess the louder it is. But those DC-9s, man, those things were loud. And now you see these giant, 747-800s come in, and it's just like all you hear is the air that they displace as they're coming in. Just kind of a, which is kind of a downside because for folks like you and I, we actually like to hear those things. We like to close our eyes, listen to the sound of a plane on approach, and actually kind of guess what aircraft it is. So, can't really do that anymore. And CX717 saying the Aero California DC-9s are one of the loudest inbounds, outbounds at LAX. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Those bad boys screamed. I miss them. I really do. I miss them. So here we have our nice parking lot here sitting on photoreal instead of a custom tarmac parking lot. And then we have the older terminal here. Even the older architecture here in Baku is really something to look at, isn't it? And I really love the way that this has been redone in the simulator. Very nicely done here. The way this glass is here. Very nicely done. Loving those textures and this sort of transparency here, that whole thing. This is really beautiful architecture. And very nicely redone here in the world of flight simulation. And also just a note on the GSC. The buses, baggage carts, stair trucks or whatever they are. Tugs, very nicely done. They could probably enhance this terminal by putting glass jet bridges here. That would make this look a lot cooler. I hope they never tear this down, though. That's very lovely looking architecture. Very nice. Boeing 777 says, press that call button nonstop. Call those flight attendants over. Yeah, I used to try to flirt with those flight attendants whenever I could. Hey, I was young. Unfortunately, they hardly any of them speak any good English. You think they would, because a lot of people that were flying Aero California were going to vacation destinations down in Mexico. And you know, it's funny because when the airline went bankrupt, the two thoughts I had in my mind was, oh my God, those DC-10s are gone. And oh my God, all those poor sexy flight attendants are out of work. Those were like the two thoughts that occurred to my mind when that airline went under. Well, I'm never going to see them again. I actually did, for a short period of time, date one of the girls from the Aero California ground crew. That lasted for about maybe a month. This was, what, 2001? Sometime after, like right after 9/11. All right. Here we are, the lovely terminal here. And you can see the texturing here is just remarkable. Very, very faithfully recreated in the simulator. And that's a control tower at the top of that. I just realized that. How they integrated that little control tower up there. That's pretty neat. I just noticed that. Very nice. And also a note on the custom vegetation here as well. Again, if we go back, for any of you who saw that Prague live stream, if we look at, you know, if you take a minute and look at that, and I am going to do a sort of an update to that stream, but the entire area surrounding sort of the land side of the airport, all the roads and everything, all of those were done by hand. So here we're just looking at photoreal. But like in that scenery, which was a perfect example of how I like these areas to look, all of that, the actual roads had paved roads instead of looking at photoreal. Those little things really make all the difference, especially in an airport of this size, because this airport is not very big. So it's those little, you know, additional sort of additions to detail that I would have loved to have seen. I can hear ADX Avatar guy in the background. He's like, come on, come on, come on, I want to come out. Yeah, I hear you, Avatar guy. Just chill, dude. So this is a cool little, is this like a little executive terminal here? This is pretty freaking awesome. This is nice. Now, what happened here with this big gap here in the tarmac here? This is weird. I don't know what happened there. That doesn't look very aesthetic, though, this big gap here. I'm not sure what happened there, but the building is freaking beautiful. The building itself is awesome. Let's try to... Hang on a second. I am like really... Oh, look at that. Now, my Avatar controls are a little bit screwed up here. Hopefully we can walk. Here we go. Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, man, it's me. It's Avatar guy. I was, like, waiting, like, so long for this airport, dude. Because, like, I was like, when is someone going to, like, make an airport that's going to be, like, for me? So I can, like, walk around and stuff. Because people are talking all that shit, like, stupid, Avatar guy is stupid. Listen. Anybody who says I suck, I just want to say screw you, alright? Just like freaking screw you. Because I'm like cool. Like I know I look good and I know I'm like awesome. So like I don't care. Like I don't care if you guys don't think I'm cool. But look at my walk, man. Like I even walk like I'm just like cool because I know I am. Whoa. Chicks. Alright, so yeah, let's go in here and like check this out. Whoa, did you just do like an Australian accent? No, man, just shut up. It's my turn. Alright, so this is a little like atrium. Alright. Let me go to this door over here. Yeah, look at those chairs, man. Like, if I could sit down, I would, but I can't. Actually, I like that even on the inside of the terminal here, you can actually see this these reflective glass. You actually look like you're inside, which is really nice. Whoa, these chicks are ugly. Look at that polygon face, man. Whoa. If I kiss her, like, she might cut me or something. I don't know. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. The girls in the Orbix sceneries are, like, way hotter. Except for that one fat chick, but that's all good anyway. Alright, let's walk over here on this side. So anyway, from the outside, the people look nice. Let's go through this door. And walk over here. Ross says I'm off my meds. That's not me, that's Avardar guy. We are two different people. Get it right. The floors are nicely done here. You even get this nice little wooden floor over here, which is good. Some nice attention to detail over here. I'm guessing this is is this like a TV screen or something? I'm not sure what that is. So this is all really cool. Alright, let's head back over to the helicopter, Avardar guy. Alright, let's go back, man. This scenery that Misha's working on right now, that's going to be a freaking Avardar guy's paradise when you guys see what Misha has done. It is freaking amazing. Alright, let's head back over to our helicopter. Boeing T7 says, trust me, those Aero California FAs are not out of work. So, I don't even remember what the button was to make him run. And we do have some animated vehicles here. There is one moving along. By the way, Azerbaijan has a very beautiful livery for their airline. And it looks really sexy on the Dreamliner. Alright, back inside. Alright, here we go. And then over here as well, we have another sort of executive-looking terminal here. Again, very nicely done architecture and recreation in the flight simulator. This is almost kind of like an Arabic type style architecture here, isn't it? Very nicely done there. You can even see like little glass rivets on the squares. Very nice looking building here. So, I mean, as far as all the buildings go, I'm very impressed. I mean, all of this was well done. I think really the only census with me here really is just to do with the photoreal and the areas. And, you know, I guess I'm a little bit surprised to see that all of this hasn't been done with sort of like tarmac type textures, because this is one of the things that I kind of ripped apart with the Shemirtyevo. I don't know if I pronounced it, but I went through that poll. But that was one of the things that I really pointed out in that scenery, is that those are the only things that Drzewiecki needs to improve upon. Everything else is freaking perfect in my book. I like the way this building was done. Look at that. This sort of meshy like sort of texture grill on this building here is really nicely done. I really love that. I mean, I never have any complaints with the quality of buildings and textures and stuff like that, or with the like the ramp textures, but it really is just, you know, these abrupt seams and everything that sits on photoreal that just kind of irks me. I think I'm gonna hit that pole again. You know what I mean? So here you see here like this parking lot here. I mean, all of this, all this really needed was just extend the same apron texture out here and paint the lines. I'm not sure how much time that would add to a to the time of a development project, but to me that's all it really needs. So before we bring Avardar guy back out and walk around the terminal, which I know at least one or two of you are probably interested to see, let's just kind of fly around the external view here and take a look. Avatar guy, you reset my eye point, didn't you? And here it is, a part that we've been really waiting to see, isn't it? Let's change. I think it's getting a little dark. That's a little better. A little bit brighter here. So one of my gripes with Warsaw, if you watched that stream, was that the glass just wasn't present enough. Looking straight on at the glass almost kind of disappeared. And I don't know if an update has been rolled out for that yet. But it's like you can only really see the glass textures if you were looking at it kind of at an angle. Here, though, it looks like they've corrected that because I can definitely see the glass now from any angle. So not sure if Warsaw got those updates yet, but that was really my only gripe with Warsaw. Here, though, this was all done very nicely. Very nicely done here. I can see the glass. Here are the walkways leading to the jet bridges. I mean, look at the floors in there, the ceiling. I mean, clearly a lot of attention to detail has gone into this. A lot of work has gone into this, and it looks all very nicely done. This looks like a food court coming around here over on this side. Very nice. That looks really awesome. Look at that. This looks really awesome. Very futuristic. This thing looks like a spider, like some kind of like alien, and all of the connecting bridges look like its legs, and it looks like this thing is just gonna like crawl away or something. There's some very, very aesthetic architecture there. Baku's really looking to put its itself on the map. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a city really go out of their way, with the exception of like maybe Dubai and like Qatar, like a lot of those cities, Abu Dhabi, that are really trying to go out of their way to kind of, attract people by means of real estate, if you will. But even then, Azerbaijan, or rather Baku, really kind of stands apart in the way that a lot of this was done. Let's go ahead and set the helicopter back down, and let's walk inside. I just park wherever I want, right here on the middle of the road here. All right, let's bring him back out. And let's see, what entrance should we use? I guess we'll use the entrance right down the middle here. I think I saw when I flew over earlier that there was like an open door or something. So you can see here these textures that Avatar guy is walking on right now. They really take away from the beautiful architecture of the building that was created here. It's like it doesn't look very nice at all. You've got this beautifully done building, and it's just sitting on these photoreal textures that really it should be a ground. As a matter of fact, give me just a second here before we go inside. I want to take a look at something. I'm just kind of curious. You see, where we saw that seam earlier, like with this building, you can see here that there's some kind of vegetation going on here. there's definitely vegetation here. It's like a bush or something, but what we saw was just kind of an abrupt seam that went all the way through. And as you can see, the tarmac kind of runs. It's a different. This is probably concrete, and this might be tarmac pavement. I don't know, what does this picture show? Nothing we're looking for. And then here, you know, this is how this should have been done. This should have all been recreated. You see here, you have this nice sort of ground texture right in here. I don't understand why all of this couldn't have been hand done, because it all would have looked so much better. You know, the actual roads instead of just the photorail. And now the photorail, like where all the buildings are sitting, that all looks very accurate. That's how it looks. And Google Earth is obviously showing that. But to cut through it with actual roads would have just made a huge difference with the airport. It would have made a very big difference here. Let me see. I wanted to take a look at some of these pictures here and just kind of compare Drzewiecki's work to the real thing. A lot of these pictures aren't really showing much. Well, that looks actually different from what we have. I'm guessing what Drzewiecki has done is maybe they've remodeled it, and these are old pictures. But yeah, I wanted to just look at the parking lot, because you can see a big difference when the roads are actually added in and hand painted and done. It makes a world of difference, as opposed to just sitting on this horrible, like, you know, sort of ground texture that we're sitting on right now. It doesn't complement it at all. All right, let's go in. Oh, that says no entrance. So I don't freaking care. I'm gonna walk in anyway, man. What? They got, like, you think Drzewiecki's got some kind of security or something that's gonna stop me? Gonna stop freaking me? All right, so we are inside now, and well, the ground is a little bit elevated, isn't it? Wow, look at that. Oh shit, this looks awesome. The ground is a little bit elevated though, so his feet are kind of like in the ground here. I guess that would have been hardened if he was meant to be walking around in here, which I don't know. I guess the only way we'll find out is if he actually is able to go up one of these escalators. That's the only way we'll find out. If he doesn't walk up, he wasn't meant to be here. He wasn't meant to be here! Wow, I thought that would have been hardened. I really thought that would have been hardened. I'm actually surprised. There's security. I don't know where the ticket counters would be, though. I guess that's interesting. Is the elevator animated here? I know that in Warsaw, the elevator was animated. Actually, you know what? Before I talk too soon, because I know that there's supposed to be some serious SOTY stuff going on with this airport. Give me a second. I'm going to need to pull the manual up here, because this thing is supposed to be like a SOTY's paradise, from what I understand. Let me see. Drzewiecki Design, where are you? Sorry, your screen's going to do something funky real quick here. It might look a little weird while I try to find the manual. Give me just a second. Where would the add-on scenery maybe? EPWA, Baku X, there it is. Documents, Baku X manual, SOTY jetways. All right, so let's go back to the desktop here really quickly. Sorry. Oh, that's too big. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Let's scroll down. A lot of information about the history. Let's see here. Here is the... Ooh, a yawn! Sorry, here's a coverage area. Installation. Remove Azerbaijan photoreal. This option removes the 8 meter per pixel photoreal ground textures of Azerbaijan. They are perfect for cruise flights and arrivals, departures for Baku, but if you wish not to use them, select this option. Maybe they does remove all of them. I don't know. Wet apron effect. We have to make sure we show that. Remove terminal interior if you don't want that. You can get rid of that. Static aircraft if you don't want. And there's also a light texture pack. Jetways and other animations. To display all available animations in the scenery, simply press Shift plus D. This combination will display an ATC-like window. During the installation, you'll be asked to install some object display engine, which I'm pretty sure I did. All right, and it is AES and GSX compatible. All right, let's see. I think that's it. So it's Control D. Let's go back and try that and see what options are available. Let's see if that actually works, which it isn't working. Sim object display engine must be assigned to something else. I can't pull it up. Oh wait, that's Shifty. Control D. Nope, I got nothing here. Shit. I don't know if I can assign anything else to that. Cancel. Text menu commands, tab A. What is that? Maybe I shouldn't do that in full screen. Oops, where'd it go? Oh, sorry, give me a second here while I try to figure this out. Shift plus VK minus. Why do I have two SODI entries in my add-on library or my add-on menu here? Yeah, Shift D didn't bring up the menu, unfortunately. Shift D is not bringing up the SODI menu. Text menu. Even if I click on it, it should still bring it up. Just clicking on it. That's not working. Let's test DLL connection. Jetway control system is up and running, it says. I don't know. I can't bring up the menu. Fuck. I don't know. It must be a problem on my computer. I don't know. I have two entries in the add-on menu for SODI, so I am not sure why that is. But Control D ain't doing it, and I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I can assign that through the controls menu. Okay. Sentient, I guess that's stand to you. Let me see here. To use SODI jetways, place your aircraft on the ground. Oh, so that can only be done from an aircraft. I see. All right. So I guess my question is whether or not SODI had anything to do with being inside the terminal here, which I guess it doesn't. So, because I was thinking maybe I have to get inside the elevator to go up to the next level, but. Because it doesn't look like the elevator is animated here. It was animated over in Warsaw. I thought maybe it would be animated here as well, but I guess not. So, I guess to look inside this beautiful terminal, the only thing to do is to slew, because I thought he would have been able to walk up along these like little areas here and walk around the terminal. I think that was something that people were probably interested in seeing, but I guess that's not possible. And I guess the elevator isn't animated, so we'll just kind of slew around the inside here and take a look. Let me see if I can get him at least a little closer to the floor, if I can. There's the middle section and the upper section here. There we go. Well, I guess that's about as close as it's gonna get. So there's no walking around for Avradar guy here, but we can kind of slew around a bit and take a look. Alright, and this looks, I mean, the modeling here is really well done. This looks very impressive. The way the modeling was done here. Very nicely done. I wonder why all the, a lot of the Azerbaijan A320s are sitting on pads instead of at the gate, but I guess that's a good thing in order to free up gate space. We've got some pictures here of downtown Baku. Very nice. Where is this? Is that supposed to be Baku as well, or is this somewhere else in Azerbaijan? Because if that's Baku, where the hell were all these buildings? Are they somewhere and I didn't see them? That's a cool shot. And let's see. Let's go up. I think there's another escalator that goes up to another level, isn't it? So poor old Avatar guy has to slew, because otherwise he'll fall through the floor, which I think I'll do just to screw with him. Ah! Oh shit, that's too high. Oh, you can go all the way up here, huh? Check that out. What are these things here, by the way? Does anyone know what those are? That's very interesting. Whatever they are. But anyway, here's the inside of the terminal, which I have to say is probably officially the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of the most immersive interior terminal modeling I think I've ever seen. You can even, I mean, it's too bad that the floor isn't hardened, right? Because, will he fall through the floor? Yeah, there he goes. Ah, yeah, okay. There we go. We're gonna Superman fly through the freaking terminal now. I mean, because even like it's open, the gate areas are open, and you can even go down some of these walkways here. So I mean, it's all been done, but it's just none of it has been hardened, so you can't actually get through any of it. But not that any of you would be spending a lot of time doing that anyway. But I guess it's just one of those things that would have been interesting to see. But nevertheless, so here it is. Here you go, dude. Here it is. This is the lower level here. What an impressive terminal this is. This will be, whenever I make my first trip to Baku, I think just being in the terminal will be an interesting experience. This is very, very nice. This architecture. I have to pull up and see who the architect was for this terminal. Alright, let's head back over to our helicopter, which is somewhere out the front door. There it is. And the next step, let's take a look at the night lighting. Let me just take a look here. I see there's some comments. Give me just a second. And hopefully SODI will start when I... while we wait. And let's try 1844 and see if that's dark enough. So give me just a moment. While we wait. Doesn't look like that was dark enough, was it? Nope, we gotta go a little bit darker. Alright, hang on. You know what, I'll just set it to night, and then I think I can drag the slider back in the time that time preview. So let's just go to flat out nighttime. This should be a faster load this time. So who is Sentient? I'm trying to figure out who's behind that name. And CX-17 is asking any updates about Flight SimCon. The latest update that I had, I posted a couple days ago. As far as the things that are going to be unveiled, yeah, Orbix is going to be unveiling some serious stuff. And John sent me an email a couple of weeks ago, so I'm going to get the exclusive on some of those updates at the convention. Someone else who's going to be doing a big unveiling is going to be Rex. The good thing for you all is when these unveilings happen, and on Friday when I get together with all of the developers, I'm going to try to get the timing down as best as I can and get the scheduling going. Because I will be broadcasting live from the event, so when these unveilings happen, as long as the developers are okay with it, the unveilings will happen live on airdailyx.net. You'll be able to watch it from home. So still working out a little bit of the logistics on that, but yeah, obviously there's nothing I can talk about now. So it's going to be up to those developers and those vendors if they'll want these things to be live, or if they will prefer to have some exclusivity for people at the convention. That'll be completely up to them. Okay, I'm kind of confused now. What's going on with the lighting? It's really dark. And this was done manually, so like all those city buildings there, I don't know if they're lit or not. Where are the runway lights? Okay, I think maybe it's because I'm high. I want to get high. Alright, I just need just a little bit of daylight here. I don't need a lot. That should be enough. Okay. Let's take a look at the night lighting now. So I don't go crashing our helicopter again. I think I'll just slew us down this time. Okay, I'm just going to slew us down so I don't crash us again. Is that another airport? What is that? That looks like an airport right there. I didn't see that before. What is this? Oh yeah, there's like a little airfield here. Looks like it's just been enhanced a little bit. Couple of helicopters there. There's some airplanes down here, it looks like. These helipads. Oh yeah, these are all helipads. I didn't even see this earlier. Oh, that's cool. Oh, let's land on one of these helipads real quick. You know what? Let me get rid of this weather. Hang on a second. Yeah, that looks better. Oh yeah, there's like a little... bunch of little helipads here. Woo! Whoa, I'm going way too fast. Let's check out one of these helipads. Whoa, easy there, horsey. Easy, easy does it. Ah. Let's set it down right there. Oh, shoot, I sparked that thing again. My nose is up way too high. Alright, let's head back over to the airport. Here we go. If I can find the damn airport. Let me see here. No, it shouldn't be that way. It should be over to the left, I think. There it is. And CX-717 says that is Baku Kala Air Base, or Kala Air Base. Amos says standing next to D in each announcement, huh? Yeah, it's gonna be a fun convention. Gonna be going around and interviewing. I've got a huge list of interviews that I've got put together, and it's going to be interesting. Hoping that I can get to everyone and still duck my head in some of the seminars that are going to be going on. And then, as a reminder, I'll be hosting a developers panel on Sunday. So yeah, it's going to be very busy, and I think already they've said somewhere between 500 and 600 people will be at the convention, and that doesn't include who didn't already, I guess, pre-register. So then there are those who are just going to show up. So this is going to be pretty big. It is going to be pretty big. So Amos is asking, is someone going to get free something? I know there will be giveaways, and some of those giveaways have already been announced, but I'm not sure between individual developers what they'll be giving away. I spoke to Amir from Flightbeam. I know he's planning on giving some stuff away, and he'll be hanging out at the Air Daily X /Jetline /Rex booth. So yeah, for those of you who are attending, there are going to be a lot of giveaways, so definitely make sure you're there so you don't miss out. Alright, I guess we need to make it a little bit darker now so we can try to see some of these night lights here. Alright, so the aprons could probably be a little bit brighter in some of these areas. Like on some of the parking stands, looks a little bit dark. Like back here. The Silkway hanger over there is looking lit very nicely. Over here, though, I don't know. I guess I feel like the ground could be a little bit brighter. Where are the light poles? The light poles are here. So none of that 3D volumetric kind of light shiny stuff going on there, but yeah, I guess the apron could be a little bit brighter, even over here in the cargo area for those of you who will be whipping in your new PMDG 747-800 freighters and all that, or your 777 freighters. I think I'll be flying the 777 freighter over here. But yeah, I think the ground could be a little bit brighter. It just looks a little too dark. But aside from that, let's take a look at the runway lights. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Alright, let's spin around here and take a look at the runway lights. There we go. Some of the approach lighting there. So here we have the custom runway lights here. Let's try to get a little bit lower. Nice runway lighting there. And the lights are not floating. You can probably a little difficult to see, but you can see here the lights are attached to the supports. Drzewiecki's always had good night lighting on runways, so definitely no complaints there. And the city also lights up pretty nicely at night, but I'll leave that to your own doing when you get the scenery. I'll let you experience that on your own. You can see the lights there off in the distance there a bit. So I'm not going to fly back over there, but what I'm going to do now, because we're getting ready to conclude the scenery, is I'm going to hop into an aircraft real quick and test out SOTI really quickly, and that should just about do it. Bring back the light here, and let's go ahead and land and grab an aircraft and test out SOTI real quickly. park it on, I'll go with this outer taxiway here. And as far as performance goes, you know, thus far the performance is really good. Really good. Oops, don't spark again, please, because putting that nose up way too high. Alright, here we go. Let's grab, ooh, Cargo Lux. We were just talking about those guys earlier. Is that a runway? What the fuck is he landing on? Where is he going? What the fuck? Where the hell is he going? I swear my AI is so stupid. What the hell happened there? And look, he's climbing again, isn't he? What is he doing? Did he even land? Where the fuck is he going? What the hell was that? That was like just like a flyby, just like, what up, bitches? And then he just took off. Wow, I don't know what the heck that was about. That was weird. My AI always does something stupid. I have the dumbest ass AI in the world, and it only happens during live streams. It never happens like when I'm just flying. That was insane. All right. Anyway, that was something stupid. Oh my God, that was all right. Anyway, let's grab an airplane because I've got to get going here soon. Okay. Selected vehicle. Yeah, he touch and go'd like on the apron. I don't even think he touched. I think he just did like a low, like freaking air show pass and then just like bounced. And Chris 3640 something says it is Autobahn Studios out of Istanbul that designed the terminal. I'll have to look into that. That looks really cool. Must be a very interesting architecture firm. All right, let's grab an airplane. Let's try this puppy. Yes, I'm aware of that. Let me have it anyway. Oh, you better not crash. What is it with PMDG planes that they really don't like it if you switch from a non-default? I just want to taxi around. I think the simulator's going to crash. Oh, it didn't. There it goes. All right, come on. Load, you sucker. Initializing all systems. There's that Cargo Lux. He's coming around again for some more bullshit. I see you over there. Swinging around. Alright, let's go ahead and taxi up to the terminal. Alright, so Sodi, come on. Oh my gosh, this is like, it just really doesn't like to be loaded. Hang on a second. Just zoom that eye point out just a little bit here. That's fine. All right, let's see if Sodi works. All right, now he's using the runway. See, he knows what he's doing. Control. What was it? Control D, or was it Shift D? No, Shift Control. Yeah, Sodi's not coming up under either of those. So I don't know why, but it's weird. I have 2 entries for Sodi in my add-on scenery drop-down list. You'd think I could still pull the menu up by just hitting the text menu commands or whatever it is function, but it still isn't working. So Shift E doesn't work. It's not coming up. So unfortunately, no SODI. But nevertheless, let's try the Control J and see if that gives us our jet bridge, because that should work too, right? Let me just get onto the actual taxiway here. Boy, this thing is like taxiing a freaking football field. Come on. There we go. Let's see if I can find some better moot lighting. So with the PMDG 777, I'm getting 39 frames per second. From between 29 and 39. So one thing for sure is you're not going to have any problems with performance. That's a really big deal. I mean, look how smooth that is. And this is with full AI turned on. Ross was asking earlier about whether or not the statics have an impact on performance. I mean, I've got the statics on and I've got full AI, and I mean, that's very smooth. 49, I think the lowest I saw it drop to was like 49. So on a performance scale, oh, you're not going to have any problems at all. You're not going to have any problems. I need to find a gate. I'm waiting for these two 767s to get out of my way. I'm going to grab that gate over there on the end. Business Air. I've never even heard of that airline. Come on, let's go, you two. I actually passed my turn off, but I think I can try to swing this here and try to turn it. It's going to be tight. All right, there we go. Let's follow this guy in here. So he must have saying I probably have both old and new versions running. Why do I have to be at a gate? I know that at like that Drzewiecki Warsaw, like, you know, they have all that extra stuff with the hangars and how you can tow that 787 and stuff. I didn't think I had to be at a gate to pull up the menu. And I had it working with that airport because I pulled up the menu and everything and it worked. So I'm not sure what's going on. These are like a combination of static and AI, huh? Yeah, because that little ERJ right there, that's a static. But the A320s are AI. All right, I'm going to take this gate. Which gate should I take? I'm going to take the one right on the end. So nevertheless, I don't think this incorporates any of that extra stuff in this airport, but at the very least, the SODI jet bridges should be working here. Whoa, wait a minute. Let's stop here for a second. Is there another gate entry here? Because I'm going to run right into that. Why is there a line here? Hang on. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, because I'm like, I'm going to hit that jet bridge. Come on. Yeah, I know. Too much. All right, here we go. Let's turn on this one. Oh, I know I am way off here. I am not good at pulling up to the gate from the virtual cockpit. I have to go from the outside to line it up. There we go. Whoop. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to stop. Triple 727 A330 757 A300 TU54 in MD. What does that say? Oh, I guess this isn't meant for a wide body, huh? This really isn't meant for a wide body, I guess. You know what? Let's just stop it here and see if it'll work. If it's the wrong aircraft type, it may not work. Yeah, it's that. I'm probably gonna have to change the aircraft. This is definitely not working. All right, you know what? Let's grab the A320. Shit, that was a waste of time. All right, hang on a sec. I guess maybe that aircraft is too big. I don't know. Sleazy jet. Let's go. Let's go. All right, here we go. Let's just slew this puppy up here. And what am I doing here? Let's close that. Oh, that's way too dark. Actually, it does give us an opportunity to see the aircraft at the terminal at night. Even though that's like a little too dark here. Let's get a little more daylight here. All right, let's see here. All right, let's push this up just a little bit. I don't know, where are the A320 markings? A3, 18 through 21 is on the first mark. Okay. Ah. Move that right there. What the hell? All right, well, I don't know. I've got to figure out. There's obviously something wrong with SOTI. I don't know. I have not had any problems with jet bridges or SOTI up until this very stream. So, all right, I'll have to figure that out. I don't know why all of a sudden this isn't working. So, that's too bad. I really wanted to at least show that. Amos is saying it won't work if you can't bring up the menu, but I was using jet bridges as recently as last week, so I must have installed something that overrode it or screwed with it. So I'm going to have to remove all SOTI off my computer and then reinstall the latest version and then go from there. But nevertheless, the scenery is meant to have fully working SOTI animated jetways, because I know that's a concern for a lot of people recently, given the fact that there's a couple of Aerosoft sceneries as of late that isn't using it. So I know there are some concerns there in regards to that. Aside from that, this is it. Drzewiecki Baku. And it's now available. So this has been, gosh, how long have I been streaming today? Let's take a quick look. This is like a long-ass stream, wasn't it? Oh, look at that. Just shy of 2 hours, which I think is the cutoff for YouTube. So this is actually perfect timing. So anyway, I hope this was helpful for you to kind of get a sort of an up-close and personal look of Baku. And if the last census do I like it? I mean, I love it. I think, you know, I think the team has done an incredible job with the scenery. The airport itself is remarkable. I love the way that the terminals have been created, all of the buildings on the airport perimeter, and definitely the the buildings in the city center. So as far as the night lighting, quality of textures in buildings, use of GSE, internal modeling, all of that is 100% in my book. I only have 2 gripes with the scenery, and that is, number one, with the photoreal, there's just not enough densely populated autogen on the photoreal coverage area. And as far as the airport goes, there's too much photoreal in areas that should have been hand painted, or I don't know what would be the proper term to use. But those are those 2 areas. I mean, for those of you, and I know a lot of you look at your sceneries a lot differently in the way that I do, where a lot of that stuff really doesn't matter. You guys are really looking to make sure that all the taxiways are present and in the right place. All the taxiway signs obviously are accurate and in the right place, and that the airport looks more or less what it should in real life for your operations. And obviously this covers all of those bases. So if for any reason you don't like the photoreal, obviously again there is an option to remove that. I think I'll just elect to keep it. But other than that, I mean, it's a terrific airport, and again, I think Drzewiecki has done an amazing job just recreating this for Flight Simulator. And now we finally have something that we finally have something in this region of the world where we otherwise wouldn't. And I certainly hope that they will, that Drzewiecki will continue to develop airports in this part of the world, because we need it. Obviously, there's a lot happening here. Maybe 15 years ago there was nothing but a desert, but obviously there is something here now, and obviously a huge reason to visit and for these airports to get covered in flight simulation. So a huge tip off, or hands off, I don't know what the term I'm looking for is, but a huge kudos to Drzewiecki Design for heading out to this region of the world and making this stuff happen, because, oh, there's that sucker again. Here he comes. Is he on the actual runway now? Damn, that's like a stall land, right? That was like a Cessna approach. Well, I guess he figured it out this time around, didn't he? Dummy. How the hell are you going to stop a 747 that fast and turn off? Holy crap. That is all right. Anyway, okay. Anyway, well done, Drzewiecki Design, and thanks for all of you tuning in. Head over to this is available on a lot of different marketplaces. Let's really quickly, before we sign off, let's just go over to Drzewiecki's homepage really quickly, so you can see where you can purchase this. I should probably pull up the desktop. So let's just pull up really quickly where you can find this. There it is.
Baku X.
And Baku. And Chisinau, that'll be coming up soon. And that's for the Eastern European live stream. So this is, where is this available? Usually there's a list of marketplaces where you can buy this. Let's see, where is the buy now? Oh, I guess it's the stores. Here you go. So you've got quite a few places where you can buy it. SimPlanet can kiss my ass. I didn't like these guys at all. When these guys came into business, they got email addresses from a lot of people in the flight simulation community, including myself. And this was a couple of years ago. These guys had never existed before. And people were sending me emails asking me, I just got an email from the SimPlanet, and I've never heard of them. I've never given them my email. Where did they get my email address from? Someone sold them email addresses, for which, from what I understand, that's supposed to be illegal. Or they were a part of another web shop and they stole the email addresses, or they took them, or I don't know what it was that they did. But they sent me an email, hey, we're SimPlanet and come buy our stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I sent them an email saying, how did you get my email? And and how they responded is what made them lose all my respect. And essentially what they said was, well, you must have at some point signed up for our email and just forgot. So they can kiss my ass, and I will never promote or support them in any way. But you can get this from the Flight Sim store. It's at the Flight Sim Pilot Shop, Just Flight, and Sim Market. Let's just go ahead and pull up the Sim Market page really quickly here. And it should be available for, there's Baku. And so 28.44 euro, that's 30 bucks US dollars, and 22 pounds 17 pence including VAT. Of course, ours is a little bit more in the US, but we don't have the VAT. So, but well, anyway, oh, including and excluding still 30.92. Well, it's US, so I guess it doesn't make any difference. So there you go. That is it. Baku by Drzewiecki Design. And here, I'll leave you on this note before we end today's live stream, folks.
Welcome to Baku X, the first commercial flight simulator scenery of the Republic of Azerbaijan. Visit the busiest aerial hub of the Caucasus, named after the third president of Azerbaijan, Heydar Aliyev. Admire one of the most beautiful and technologically advanced airport terminals in the world. Tour the reconstructed former main terminal and the cargo terminal. Then head straight for the city of Baku. With its fabulous buildings like Flame Towers, Heydar Aliyev Center by Zahar Hadid, and the National Flag Square. Baku X includes photoreal images for the whole Azerbaijan and parts of surrounding countries as well. All Azerbaijani airports are enhanced, some with custom-made terminal buildings. Feel free to check all national airports like Genya, Nakhchivan, and Kabala. Then come back to Baku and experience the feeling of total immersion by visiting the interior of Terminal 1, the pinnacle of style and engineering. Extremely detailed airport markings, moving vehicles, and animated jetways will help you deepen this feeling. There is no other airport like Heydar Aliyev, and no city similar to Baku. Experience this epic part of the world by yourself. Baku X, your virtual gateway to flight simming in Azerbaijan, by Drzewiecki Design.
All right, folks, so that pretty much is it. Thank you for tuning in to today's live stream. Again, I hope it was very useful and helpful. And aside from that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. Of course, I will see you back here for the next live stream. And as always, for everything flight simulation, airdailyx.net. Take care, everyone. And for you guys in Europe, have a good night.